Elżbieta Godlewska. I'm representing the Linux Professional Institute in Poland, Czech Republic and Slovakia. The Linux Professional Institute is an organization certifying the Linux professionals. We made a research recently about open source in Polish business. And so one of the questions of using open source solutions and Linux solutions was to choose between price, security and reliability. And so to give you an example, price was the last one. So security yes, reliability yes, was the main reasons for the responders. So that's what we think. It's our second year. We are cooperating with the organizers of the conference. I think it's a great conference, really very big audience. And why? Because the Linux, Linux is everywhere, open source is everywhere. We are offering certification for Linux professionals, different distributions of Linux, so not limited to only one technology, but like different distributions within Linux. So for us it's important to be here to meet a lot of open source professionals, Linux professionals, and not only professionals, people who want to know more about Linux. Maybe in the knowledge about open source, it's okay, open source, okay, but what is this? It's like Linux. Linux, it's not only the desktop. So people many times they think, okay, Linux, but I don't have Linux on my computer. No, it's not about the computer. It's about the Linux behind, in servers. So more than 90% of servers are Linux-based, not Windows-based. So Linux is everywhere, in smartphones, it's Linux, Android, it's Linux. All those big companies, Facebook, we all know them, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, they are all Linux and open source companies. So, people sometimes don't realize this. It's reliability, security, but also for many people it's the freedom to choose. Price, okay, let's say we are in Poland, the price is important. In many countries the price is important, but maybe price together with other values, let's say. I think it's important to be here because it's the biggest conference for open source people, and so it's important to be here to hear the new trends, to hear why, about discussion we had about price, about security, and to meet interesting people, then to meet experts, and to know what's happening in this IT world, the open source world, because open source is IT world actually, because it's open everywhere now.